All right. We are live. Merry Christmas, everybody. I hope you're doing well and having fun. It's nice to be back on doing a little Ask Me Anything session about this guy today. So we'll get it in the mix. We can chat about it. Obviously, if you've got other questions as well, then you know, give me a shout in the chat, and we'll get into it. But I thought I'd just do something that I do. Oh, hang on. We better get some guitar in the mix. Otherwise that's gonna be a problem. Oh, what have I done? It was a great start to the stream. Like, hello everybody. I realized I unplugged my guitar just before I went live, which was not the smartest thing to do for this session. Hey George, welcome along, brother. We're gonna be chatting about this guy. I just thought, for fun, now that I have guitar back in the mix, I'll play around a bit and then we'll chat. How's things in Utah? So I often use this little Akai MPX8 just to add a little bit more, literally a little bit more snap into a mix. But I thought, I've never done this before. But hey Byron, welcome along everybody. Seeing as it's coming up to Christmas, and it's cold in Utah. Who knows why I decided to do this for today, but you know, it's happening. You better watch out, you better not cry, you better not pout, I'm telling you why. Santa Claus is coming to town. He's making a list, he's checking it twice, he's gonna find out who's naughty or nice. Santa Claus is coming to town. He sees you when you're sleeping, he knows when you're awake, he knows if you've been bad or good, so be good for goodness sake. You better watch out, you better not cry, you better not pout, I'm telling you why. Santa Claus is coming to town. Santa Claus is coming to town. Alright, so I'm going to take off the Santa hat, but we are going to chat because it's hot here. It is not, it is definitely not the chilly cold of Utah at the moment. It's super warm in New Zealand summer, but I thought I'd go through what I use on the Akai MPX8 because literally this is what I use when I am including some drum sounds, some groove sounds into my mix. And let's just increase that so you can hear. -1 degree. And one of the reasons I like this, I got a few messages after the last live stream, is that this has a little SD card, so I can load any sample that I wish into this. I am limited to 8 pads at once, but it literally means that I can have a few different settings queued up, and the main things I'm using literally are 2 different kick sounds, some finger snaps, a clap, so and like a pretty old school snare sort of sound. And then aside from that, I've got a little like hi-hat, closed hi-hat, a Nick, I love it. I had your recent live stream playing on the TV. My wife was watching and said, "I think you need one of those." I happily have. Oh, that's awesome. Have you literally just ordered it? That's great. I love that. Then I have literally like a sweep, which is great. You have to do a bit of figuring out on timing for songs to get it pretty much in time, but that's pretty handy. What do we miss? That's still our kick. And then this is literally one of the tom sounds that's on there that I use. And but I have programmed different parts into it using the SD card. One of the other things you can do, and this is maybe I'll share this on a. In fact, it might be interesting to do a video diving a little bit deeper into this, because one of the things that is programmed in, if I load any sample, let's just choose one of their internal options at the moment. A synth stab. It does have a tuning option, so if I wanted, I could create 8 different pitches. You get the idea, but I could map them to a different pad for, let's say, doing a pad. I'm unlikely to use this in my set, but let's say you had a sustained pad sound that you wanted to use. Could be a cool option. So showing it. Picked it up within 24 hours. Hence interested in how you mount it. I use an iPad stand, and it's a Hercules iPad stand that I tuck this end underneath what would hook into the iPad. I have put some Velcro on the back. If I get the light right, you'll be able to see that. There's a Velcro strip there and a Velcro strip on the Hercules mount. And then this that you can see going around is literally some other Velcro strips that I just wrap around and hook it on. It's powered by a USB, which obviously can go just into a power supply, which I have. And then there's a couple of options. I actually run the headphones out on the unit. So this is the headphones out, which goes nicely into the auxiliary input on the Boss RC300, or if you're using the VoiceLive 3, you've got an auxiliary input to just go in, and you can choose volume either on this guy, or you can choose the volume, the input gain on your pedal, or a combination of both. But I do find it quite handy. I tend to leave the settings on the RC300 the same, and if I'm just doing acoustic vibes, one of the things I really enjoy are these snaps, but I don't want them at a super. If I've just set up a simple groove on the guitar, these snaps are pretty prominent in the mix, right? So we've got volume on here, and if I'm just doing an acoustic option, I can just bring that back. So they're now in the mix, but they're subtle. They're not overpowering. Yeah. So I find it super handy. I know there's a heap of different options out there. I literally just thought I would jump on because I got a few comments about it, and share what I use, how I mount it to a stand. I think you'll have a lot of fun with it, Nick. I would highly suggest though getting playing around with samples that are going to work for you. The stuff that's in there out of the box, totally fine. You can get set up and running, but it is nicer to start to tweak and create using the SD card. And there's the only real restrictions. It needs to be a mono wave file. So for those of you that really do like different stereo things, interestingly, it's a mono wave file, but it does output essentially in stereo. I can pan this left and right within the controls. So yeah, it's one of those things that there's a lot of scope with it, and I know a lot of people are using a lot of different things. There is the likes of the trying to think of what it's called. The Roland have the different hand drum combos, which I feel like it's like a, I want to say RC10. That's not what it is. I should actually, I could look this up, but Roland have a little hand drum combo that that's there. Patrick, cheers, brother. We finally got to it. I asked you about this toy a while back. Appreciate you sharing your tricks. Yeah. Is there anything in particular those of you that are curious about it want to know? This is literally where it's at. Curious questions. Fire them through, and if there's anything in particular, we will chat about it. I definitely use it pretty simply. I would love to have a keys input, and I did consider the is it the Akai Mini Play? There's two that are so similar in how they're named, and but one of them has a whole lot of sounds already built into it, and I considered that purely because I would get a little keyboard to run through too. But a friend was running it, and the sounds, while you can tweak some things and save it as patches, the sounds were maybe not so great. Patrick, for this, it literally I don't believe it has any djembe sounds built in, but what I like about it is this SD card. So I can load in any and all of my own samples if you wanted a full djembe, different tones, different sounds, so long as you can find them or purchase them online, which there's a crazy amount of samples available now, which is awesome. But so long as you can source what you want, then yes, you can load it in. You can have djembe sounds. Actually, I need cowbell in there. How do I not have cowbell somewhere in the mix of this? Unbelievable. But actually, look, while we're on, let's go through the internal sounds. So hey Nick, how's it going? Literally internal sounds. We've got an 808 kick. We have the snare. We've got that's a little hat, and the internal clap. Again, I'm not sure I rate a lot of these sounds wonderfully. I did use them before adding my own in to start with. Oh yeah. Again, you can tune these, so if you want to have different notes with whatever samples you put in, that's an option. Bass. This is the important ones, right? Another different kick. The snare. We've got open and closed hi-hats. A little tom combo. The synth. the little effect sweep that I actually use. That's the main one I use from the original. This is apparently a gunshot. Not convinced. That's a pretty decent rim shot sound. And the essentials of an air horn. A crash. Okay, we've got a few little bass options in there. Could be fun to build using the tuning option. Could be fun to build a pad, and then for some of your bass lines, could be an interesting different way to put some of those things in. Oh, hi everybody! I should have put a link to the. In fact, I will put a link after this stream to the Akai MPX8 for those of you that do want to dive in and grab one or find out more specifics. I'm not going to go through all the details that literally are going to pop up when you go to any site that sells them, because they'll list all the details. But I think the one of the things I did, I actually connected an account with Loop Masters and found through a bunch of their stuff. I was like, what are some good samples that I want in this mix? And I played around, and you can download them. Once I downloaded them, they were stereo wave files. I found an online option where I literally uploaded the ones that I wanted, turned them into a mono file, and the only thing I found with a couple of the samples, importing your own samples, is it's important that those samples start right on the beat. There are a few little a couple that I've come across where they're just there's a little bit of lead in to really being on the groove, and then it's thrown me with putting that into a tight beat where I've if I wanted it to be in time, I'd literally have to play it early, and that's just too much brain power for me in a live show. So it's gone. Nick, in case I missed it, how sensitive are the pads? Look, they're pretty good in the grand scheme of things. If we go for like this is from me, let's go from a full hit to getting lighter. There's not going to be a huge difference, to be honest. So I think you're going to struggle if you're trying to really get that sensitivity difference from a full range. You probably get an idea of me playing with it here, but I would tend to do that. You can set up the levels of everything. So within this one setting, for example, that kick sound, the volume level is at a 6. The little clap is at a 7. These snaps are at a 10. So I've adjusted them to be a reasonably balanced mix for what I use and what I want. So how soft can you tap to get a sound? Reasonably softly. It's not a lot of pressure. I'm not. It's very relaxed. Got that. I've got that bass in the mix now. Mm-hmm. Now I'm curious. Can we? Wait. Oh, sorry. Delete previous loop. I'm curious if we can get a little. It's gonna be a one chord wonder, girls and boys. Hey. I haven't tried, Patrick. I haven't tried a huge lot of other things. I have tried as I say, the Akai Mini and the other, whichever way they are, the Mini Play and the Mini MPC. Whichever those two are. I looked at various other things online, and one of my restrictions was literally the sampling in them. And the other avenue I looked at was getting a synth keyboard that had sound effects and things in them. The one thing that seems to pop up consistently is in fact, I'm going to look it up because it would just be handy to include in this stream, is the Roland hand percussion. Let's see if I can find it for you all. Literally, the HPD 20. So, I do believe there's an HPD 10 and an HPD 20 that, again, friends use, and great results, great options. I haven't used them to literally compare sensitivity of pads and things like that, but I have got very strong good reviews from both of those. And the other one is also Roland, the SPD SX, which I have a couple of friends that literally use sticks and play them into looping gear, all that sort of stuff as well. So actually, if you want to check out Lee Gray, is using the SPD SX and playing grooves. If you haven't come across his channel, it's got a bunch of awesome loops, and does a lot more of the kind of party vibe stuff. So yeah, having that. And what else is in his rig? What is it called? The Roland the guitar synth. So it oh man, this is terrible. I looked into this a long time ago, and it's an awesome someone help me out in the chat. Roland guitar synth pedal. The GR55. Yeah. So yeah, another awesome unit. And had a jam with a friend that's using the Roland 707, which is much more like a sequencer and that side of things. So I will put a link after this to this anyway in the chat, but hopefully that gives you some ideas and things as well. So if anyone has any questions, then let me know, and we will aim to answer those. But otherwise, I feel like that's probably me on explaining little parts of how I use this. I often, so just to add to that, I will often still include a guitar rhythm, and the reason I include a guitar rhythm, let's say we're doing what have I done? Oh, there we go. Alright. The reason I will include a guitar rhythm is, and let's say we just take that down a bit. Sorry, I should put that on a separate track for you. Then I can explain. Yeah, what a beautiful track. But the reason is Wait, let's just sort that out. The reason is, this on its own to me starts to sound quite mechanical, very much like it is just samples on repeat, like very raw. With my acoustic guitar sound in the mix as well, I feel like I get a much more organic sound. It's much more natural, and then the only difference would be the level of the mix. So that's just me pulling down the MPX8. So it's still in the mix, obviously you can hear it, but it's not overpoweringly dominant, shall we say, in the mix. So that's literally how I use it. It just adds a bit of punch, a bit of that really nice bottom end in the kicks, and I like the crispness of having some snaps and claps in the mix as well. So thanks team, for those of you that have been looking at it. I hope that's answered some questions. And Nick, I love that that you've got a good wife there, brother, suggesting that you should get one of those and encouraging you. I like it. I hope you have a lot of fun with it, and yeah, feel free to send me a message if there's any samples or bits and pieces. They're literally loaded on my SD card, so easy enough, super easy to share if there's something you like or want, man. I'm gonna get them. Sweet, cheers, Patrick. I hope you all have fun with playing around with it. That's the goal at the end of the day, is to have fun playing some tunes. How do I mount it? I mount it with an iPad stand. So literally the end of the iPad stand. In fact, it's close enough. I will grab it and we'll wind up with that actually going through it for you. So this is the other half that you missed before. This is just an iPad stand mounted onto my mic stand. Extends out. I literally put Velcro there and I hook in the other end of the Akai MPX8 here. So it literally slots in. Velcro's on the back. That is okay. It will sit there with Velcro on the back and this corner hooked in, but I got some Velcro strips that just fit between the pads there, and I'll loop that round, and it just locks it on nice and solidly, so that when I'm hitting different things, it's not wriggling around. So that's literally how it's all mounted. And that is a Hercules iPad stand. So something similar. I'm sure you will all come up with something that works for you. But yeah, appreciate connecting. Just check, still working. We're still good. Yeah, who knows? We will see what comes in next week. But obviously, if there's any questions, feel free to put something, either comment below or send me a message. There's a little form set up on the website to connect in if there's anything you want to dig into. Have a great week, everybody.